everyone. Welcome back to episode 63 of our Colorado Rockies rebuild here on Out of the Park Baseball 26. It doesn't feel like we've had as many episodes as we have, but then you look into the fact that the 2032 season will be starting soon, and you're like, I see now why. So here we are. For those who missed last episode, rather an interesting episode in which the end of the season in September, it didn't really come down to the wire, but we didn't get eliminated until the 26th, which is kind of wild to think about on a conceptual level, just in terms of how bad our September was. Our season pretty much ended in this stretch. The second week of September, when we lost six in a row, we lost 8 out of 9, 11 out of 13, if you want to extend it a bit further. That pretty much, for all intents and purposes, ended our season. I think I did the math over the last, four series here of 12 games. We had to go 10-2 or 9-3 to even have a chance to make the wild card. Obviously, we did not. We finished 80-82. So, of the 8 years that we have done, or excuse me, the math's off 7. The 7 years we have done this save. I mean, we've now missed the playoffs more times than we made it. However, important caveat, the 3 years we made the playoffs, 2026, 2027, 2029, we made the World Series. So, we're very much a feast for famine team, unfortunately, which does lead to really good times like winning the World Series, but also leads to quite rather bad ones. And in other very tragic news, for the second time in this series, the owner has slashed our budget. We went from 206 million last season to now 198 million, which is rather depressing when you look at it. In terms of the finances, we now have the 26th highest budget. In other words, we have a bottom 5 budget, and then payroll at the moment is 27th. Obviously, we have a little bit of money floating. We have 10 million available in free agency, which I don't think I have to be the one to tell you. It's not a very competitive number. We have 28 million for extensions. Ironically, this is really the one year where there's not a lot of upcoming free agents or anyone will want to extend. So, for all intents and purposes, that money is useless. And once again, the fact that I can't move that to free agency is very annoying, and I wish I could change that. But alas, I cannot without going in commissioner mode, but here we are. So that's where we're at in free agency. And off stream, I did some behind the scenes work, shopped around some players. I did make 2 trades. One, not a lot of consequence. The other one could impact us quite a bit. And then scouted a lot of players, including all the international free agents again. And then also looked at some potential starting pitching help, because I don't know if you were paying attention last season, but we were 15th in the National League in starter ERA, and I don't think I need to tell you how many teams are in the National League. So, first things first, let me recap the 2 trades that were made. I'll get the boring one out of the way first. Quinn Priester, this is something we talked about last episode doing. I have traded him to the Atlanta Braves. He was a midseason acquisition. Hoped he could be an upgrade over Aaron Ashby. He kind of was, which speaks of how bad Ashby was, really. But he was making a decent chunk of change, 14.3 million. Hilariously, a little less than half of that the Phillies are paying for. Um, but I think there really wasn't a role for him in our starting rotation. And so I made the executive decision to ship him off to Atlanta. In exchange, we got a prospect 25-year-old reliever, John Bailey, who is your classic, really good stuff. Control is a little shaky. I think what kind of attracted me to him was his movement. He didn't do great in AAA last season, but I see him as a guy that will probably become a really good AAA, reliever and might have a role in our bullpen at some point down the stretch. You never know. Stranger things have happened. The second trade is the bigger one. Emmanuel Martinez, who I am on the record of saying I like him, but he's clearly not a starter. As a long reliever, I think he did eat a lot of innings. He pitched 97 innings as a reliever. Strikeouts were really good. 10.6 per nine, 114 total. That's pretty much where the good numbers end. 144 whip, 1.6 home runs per nine, almost 5 walks, 292 BABIP. Wasn't doing all that great. Picked up an injury and missed, the last couple weeks of the season. So I made the executive decision that, we're going elsewhere in the bullpen in that long relief role. And so I traded Emmanuel to the Milwaukee Brewers in exchange for Bryce Terang. Now, in real life, Bryce is, on the short list for Rookie of the Year, probably going to win a couple Golden Gloves in his career, which he has in this out of the park baseball save, and is looking like one of, the bright infielders of Major League Baseball. In this sim, however, he has done pretty okay for himself. The bat, though, had completely fallen off. If you look at the past couple seasons, I mean, from 2027 to 2030, he could get on base, but his slugging just didn't exist whatsoever. This past season, he does even worse. It's not looking pretty. And the Brewers gave him a 4-year, $40 million contract that he is about to be in the last year of. Now, the Brewers are retaining 50% of his salary. So I'm essentially paying Bryce Terang $5 million. I see that as reasonable. And listen, he's at Coors Field. The bat might play a bit better at Coors. And defensively, he's won 3 Golden Gloves at second. That makes him, by default, the best second baseman we have ever had in terms of defense. So, with him coming in, this is how our lineup looks going into next season, assuming everyone is healthy. Aguilaris leading off in right, Andahar batting second at short, Howley at third, and he is going to DH. I still have him listed as a second baseman for the purposes of our ratings, but he's going to be a DH. I think, I like him, but good Lord, the man has anywhere between -14 to -20 zone rating at second. That hurts me emotionally to see. So Howley is going to DH. Charlie Condon's going to bat fourth. Alan Ford, actually, I forgot about that. Alan Ford is going to bat fifth and take left field. Colby Turner is going to bat sixth at third. The aforementioned Terang is going to bat seventh. And then Dario is going to be our starting catcher at 8. Max Clark in center field. So there's still a couple question marks. I mean, if there's an injury to the infield, then Alan Ford may become the DH. I need a left fielder, yada, yada, yada. Of the backups, I think this is pretty much the group I want. Miguel Palma, CJ Sampson obviously are safe. One of Jerron Elkins or Santiago Munoz will be there. And Luis Marquez, I think, will have to earn a role in spring training, but we'll see how that plays. So the lineup, the hitters, that's more or less set. Let's shift gears to pitching. Bullpen, I'll get out of the way first because it is more or less done. Okuda as our closer, Fidel Gage Wood, setup man, Mike Stewart, who only pitched 13 innings last year, but I thought did well. He's got a really good profile. I like him a lot. He is going to be a middle reliever along with Luis Castellum, who continues to be just a great reliever and proof that you can find gems in the Rule 5 draft. And at the moment, my long relievers, Joey Broughton, he has like 3 months of next season to turn it around. If he doesn't, I am shipping him off. Goodbye. But he needs to work on his control. If it improves, he could be one of the best relievers in baseball. But at the moment, I have a year and a half worth of outings that suggests it's not. AJ Russell, who unfortunately in spring training tore his labrum, and so he missed 4 months of the season. And then I called him up toward the end of last season. He didn't do particularly great in 9 innings, but, you know, at some point, I got to get him back into the bullpen since he was really good in 2030. So he'll be there with us. And then finally, Kevin Tesicki, who we drafted 2 seasons ago. He rose through the minors and became one of our best relievers. 2.5 ERA, nearly 50 innings pitched. Almost had a sub-1 whip. That'll play. So that is my bullpen. I mean, that's my list of 8. We'll see how things shake out down the stretch. Waylene Castillo right now is on the outside looking in, but we'll see if maybe there's a role for him. But bullpen is set. That's the easy part. Now let's talk starting pitching. A lot of it is going to be determined by how these 4 develop over the offseason. Luis had a pretty good year, but his stamina is only a 40. He rarely went more than 5 innings. That's a problem. Sandy Ozuna, his stamina crashed to a 35, and he just had an arthritic elbow injury. So I don't know if he's going to be a starter for us much longer. I hope he is, because he just put together a really good season with an ERA below 4 and a whip of 1.09. It would suck to lose that. Hunter Brown, I'm not worried about his stamina. I'm worried about his stuff. He only has 1 pitch above a 45. It is his fastball. And, listen, I offered him a 2-year, $18 million extension, which hindsight 2020, that may have been an overpay for a guy that just had, 1 WAR season. But I think there's a good pitcher in there. If you look at his splits last season, he had mostly really good months. It was just that in June, before his injury, he got popped for an ERA of 21. And so that skewed a lot of his numbers. So hopefully Hunter can have a better year 2 with us. We'll go from there. And then finally, Javon Dumas. Javon? I feel like it's not Javon. Javon sounds better. Let's go with that. Who we acquired for a pair of prospects from the Cardinals. He's going to be a starter for us. No real point in making him a long reliever, considering the guys we have. His stuff is kind of terrifying. Like, he has a pretty good fastball, really good cutter, but a curveball and a changeup that aren't playable, and an average sinker. We'll see, how that shakes out. But at the moment, He is penciled in as our fourth, fifth starter. Probably fifth, all things considered. So that's my team right now. Um, really quick for the development lab, here's what I'm working on. In terms of pitching staff, Joey Broughton, improved control. That's obvious. Breezy Dumas, secondary pitch development, duh. And then Michael Gindra, who had 2 starts with us in the majors. Obviously, he missed almost an entire year with Tommy John, so his stamina is dead. But he pitched 7 innings in the fall league twice. All I'm saying, could be something there. So he is working on that secondary pitch development. For hitters, Dario is working on his gap power. Dario did not do well last season. His defense is the only reason why he had positive WAR. He has, one more year to prove himself, because if he can't do well, then we need to find a new catcher, which isn't going to be the easiest thing in the world. Colby Turner working on his plate discipline. He struck out ahead 176 times. End of sentence. Christian Aguilares working on his gap power. I like Christian a lot. I think there is a non-zero chance we look up in a couple years and he is one of our best hitters. But only hit 10 home runs. 25 doubles in 100 games, you're getting a double every 4 games. I'd like that to be a higher clip. Especially he did have 100 strikeouts, so the avoid K might be a fool's gold. So getting him some extra gap power will help quite a bit. Max Clark, plate discipline. He struck out 125 times. He did have a decent amount of walks, 41. But if his sole job is to get on base, get steals, and run like a madman, I can't have him strike out as much as he did. And then finally, Santiago Munoz, similarly to what I said with Christian Aguilares, except Munoz only had 2 home runs. He did only play in 26 games. So you multiply that out, he'll probably be good for, 10, 11 home runs in a season if he plays a whole 162. We'll see. But more gap power, never hurt. So that's my development lab. I did increase the developmental budget from 25 to 28 million. So that number goes up just a tad. And that's where we're at. So, like I said before, let us talk free agency. We have no money. We have 10.5 million. Our owner actively hates me. This has been known. It's not a great free agent class. Let's just get that out of the way. Pete Crow Armstrong is the number 1 bat available by a wide margin. He is going to command probably anywhere between $30 and $40 million a year. Obviously, we're out on him. Ezekiel Tovar, listen, get him a statue outside of Coors Field. We literally could not afford to extend him, which, don't get me wrong, sucks, but he did have his worst year last season. He missed almost an entire year before that due to injury. We DH'd him for the latter half of the season. We move on. And then Anthony Volpe is also available. He was a Yankee and their starting shortstop the entirety of the save, which I think is pretty cool. However, he clearly fell off a cliff with his bat, down from like a 6 WAR player to a 2 WAR player. Defensively at short, zone rating and range were okay, but 23 errors when he usually averaged, mid-teens. That's a bit shaky. His zone rating dropped from like a 16 and 11 to a 2. So maybe age 30 is just when the shortstops die out in terms of defense. Who knows? Obviously, we're not going for any of those top guys. I have currently offered minor league contracts to 8 players. Let me quickly run through all those players. Wellington Herrera, for those of you who've been keeping up with this series the whole way through, you'll know he was possibly our best reliever in 2029, got a World Series ring. 2030, he imploded. We trade him to the Dodgers. And then promptly he does well with them in the minors, but doesn't really see any major league play last year. They let him go. I have offering him a minor league contract. Why not? Let's have some fun. Similarly, Luigi Casilla, who was a starter for us for 2030, didn't do all that great. I moved him to the bullpen, shaky results. And then this past season with the Angels, they had him as a long reliever, and he didn't do bad. Like 136 whip you can live with. Strikeouts were high, 5 walks though. 265 BABIP is nice. So why not offer him a minor league deal? He's not even 27 yet. See what we have. Sean Peffer was a undrafted free agent out of University of San Diego. Didn't do particularly great in college. High school, he crushed it, obviously. And, listen, if he hits his potential, he could be a really solid organizational depth in the outfield. Same thing with Jarrett Kirkley out of Michigan. Went undrafted. Looks like a defensively solid shortstop. If we can get that range a touch higher, that'd be great. Good speed. I like him. Good organizational depth. Why not? Jason Whites was undrafted out of USC Aikens campus. And I like him. Like, I understand why he went undrafted. The bat ain't great. He's either a catcher with a bad arm, a below average outfielder, or a terrible defensive infielder with a good arm. So there's no real place to put him. But, like, if I told you that Jason Whites was the best catcher in our minor leagues in 2 years, I might believe it. He's got really good framing, got an okay bat, could have something there. Raul Arriaga played independent ball for the past 2 years. Didn't get that much playing time, which is part of the reason why I don't like independent leagues in out of the park baseball, but that's beside the point. He's got an okay bat. The eye isn't great. The power is closer to a 40 than a 50. Not bad organizational depth. I don't really know where I want to play him. I'll figure that out if he signs. And then finally, Mike Griffith, who bounced around the minors for a bit. Didn't play that much last season because they had him in rookie ball. But as a first baseman, he's great. As a shortstop, he's solid. As a third baseman, sure. And if the bat hits, pretty good organizational depth. The one player of these 8 that could contribute next season is Carter Johnson, who was in Kansas City system, did okay in the majors, not great, but is your classic quad A player. He's clearly too good for AAA. Maybe not great enough, for the majors, but if I compare him with who he would be competing with at bats for in Luis Marquez, I would take Carter Johnson. A little bit younger. He's going to hit for better contact, maybe worse power, but potential-wise, he's just better than Luis. If you compare them from a defensive perspective, got much better arm, not going to have less errors. I could even put him in the outfield if I want. So Carter Johnson, definitely going to be in spring training if he signs. We'll see what happens. So that's my minor league haul. Not really worth spending too much time on. But that is the haul. Now, let's talk starting pitching. So I'm going to be frank with all of you. It's a very sad list. 37-year-old Lucas Giolito is the best available. 38-year-old Luis Castillo, Eduardo Rodriguez are also up there. It's not great. Like I said, we only have $10 million, so we're going to go bargain bin shopping quite a bit. I have had my scout look at a handful of the pitchers to see if maybe they're going to be good enough to come here, but it's not the most awe-inspiring list. There's a couple that could be fun. Kunafusa Tsukamoto from Japan, coming over at 32 years young. I have a low scouting accuracy on him, though. But if that 70 control is like a 65 and his stuff is maybe a little bit better, might not be a bad get. So I am going to advance through a couple days. Personal message. Who is yelling at me now? Okay, good. I also fired my trainer because I got upset about the amount of long-term injuries we had. Just throwing that out there. All right, a lot of these are going to be international amateur free agents. Raul. Oh, Raul wants to go back to independent ball. I mean, I'm not going to stop him. Like, I mean, I like him, but I don't like him that much, unfortunately, for him. 3 days. Okay. So I think in about a week we should know most of the starters. Hall of Fame voting. Okay, Luis. So I asked for a fresh scouting report on Luis. His potential rating has dropped. Nice. Nothing else really dropped, though. Okay. His potential going down is a little bit annoying, I'm going to be honest, but what can you do? All right, let's do some Hall of Fame voting. First of all, is anyone insanely close to the cutoff that needs some help? Answer no. This is a very small list. Okay. So newcomers, Patrick Corbin, no thank you. Freddie Freeman, I'll put on there. I don't know if he deserves it. Same with Paul Goldschmidt. Curtis Granderson, one of my favorite Tigers of all time. Put him on there. King Felix, for the respect, put him on there. Clayton Kershaw, I think, makes it. The fact that in this save he went to the Orioles is kind of funny. JD Martinez, I mean, listen, there was a year and a half stretch with the Tigers where I was wholly convinced JD Martinez was going to become the greatest hitter in baseball. He couldn't play defense to save his life, but I think one of the mistakes of the Dave Dombrowski era was not signing JD Martinez to a long year extension after 2014. I think if they get that deal done, he's locked in for a free agent for like 5-6 years instead of being a free agent after 2017, and they have a much better chance of making the playoffs. But instead, they traded him for 3 players that are no longer in the organization. It's fine. Put him on. Tigers bias. I don't care. Buster Posey only getting 17% of votes. I think he might get higher. That's really the end of the list, ain't it? Yeah, this is not the most impressive Hall of Fame. I'll add Hyunjin Ryu to the list. I always like guys that don't jump around a lot and just do good wherever they're at. Ryu did. Injuries obviously killed his career, but I like him. Other than that, I mean, it's not great. I'll give my last 2 votes to Jose Abreu and Charlie Blackmon. I feel like I have to give it to Blackmon as I'm doing a Rockies save. Oh, I need one more. Whoops. Put Carlos Santana on my ballot. I could submit less than 10. I acknowledge that, but that's just no fun. Like, what's the point of doing a ballot if your ballot only has like 3, 4 names on it? Like, come on. Might as well pepper some names on there. All right. Calendar flips to December. Sean Peffer likes my offer. Kirkley likes it. Good. Man, I really added way too many players for the international free agent list. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, Boston Barrow, who I debated going after in free agency. But I mean, yeah, who do I like more, him or Johnson? Hmm. It's kind of a wash. What defensively? Defensively, it's Carter. I mean, he wants essentially the same deal as Carter Johnson. I always could offer them both, but the problem is if I do that, then 12% of my free agent money is gone. So I don't love that idea. All right, Matt Catarino. He was a long reliever for the Pirates last season. I mean, I like him, but he is very injury prone. His stamina is a 40. He hasn't been a consistent starter since 2028. I don't know. Could be one to keep an eye on, but we'll see. I don't know why I clicked through those all manually. All right, new scouting report on Casey Mize. Eh, I mean, he has one good pitch. Like that's the crux of it, really. All right, Sean Peffer signs a deal. The AI has him in Double A, which seems too ambitious. Let's have him in High A. Keep him there for a little bit. Kirkley. Actually, Kirkley might be fine in rookie ball. All right. Jason. No, he's not in Double A. Are you out of your mind? Look at his ratings in Double A. Are you foolish? Put him in Fresno. Put him in rookie ball. Don't put him in Double A, you silly game. All right, and then Andre Palente. Oh God, he's terrible. Yeah, yeah. I think the Dodgers got one last good season out of him. I mean, the stuff just isn't there. The movement's good, sure, but he's never been a strikeout guy. I don't think. I don't think that's the move. More international free agent. How many starters do I have left? 3, including Tsukamoto, and then Franier Herrera down there. Okay. Personal message, Luigi. He wants a major league deal. I'm going to be honest, Luigi. I don't think you're getting one from me. Yeah, he wants one with a guarantee. I'm not doing that. Mike Griffith wants an increased deal. No, you're an undrafted. Oh, no, excuse me. You're not an undrafted free agent, but you were released. No? Yeah. He was released by the White Sox. Actually, no. He was drafted by the Orioles, cut a year later, picked up by the Mariners, cut 6 months later, picked up by the White Sox, cut 3 months later. You were in zero position to negotiate, dude. But hey, I'm not going to stop you. Okay, Chase Silseth. I mean, he's good. He might be the one we go after. I still have, yeah, Cantorino. Let's compare. I mean, like, for the price difference they're going to demand, I almost want to go with Cantorino because Chase Silseth right now wants a 2 year, $19 million deal versus Matt Cantorino wanted 1 year, 6.5. Cantorino might just be the get. I mean, we'll see. Things could change. That's kind of where I'm leaning. All right, Corbin Burns this is the big one. Nah. Nah. You ever look at a player profile and you're like, nah. I mean, he is wrecked. Let's be clear. So in the off season and spring training, he had 2 injuries. In the first 3 months of the season, he had 5 injuries. Then he got 2 herniated disc injuries. Yeah, no. I think that's a clear no. I'm still waiting on that Tsukamoto scout. Yeah, right now I think I'm leaning either Silseth or Cantorino. I think that's where I'm at. All right, let me check back in free agency really quick. Any signings? Not really. Okay, so what? Casilla wants no minor league deal. He's gone. Raul Naga got a better offer, but like I'm not gonna do that. And then Mike Griffith. I don't know why this dude wants more money. He's been in 3 different organizations and he's only 20 years old. Like, can we just talk about that for a moment? How silly that is. Yeah, so there's Cantorino. I mean, 1 year, 6 million. Like, I am tempted. I think the problem with Silseth is he wants essentially all of my free agent money. And in terms of stuff, they have the same fastball. Cantorino has a better slider. He has a changeup, whereas Silseth has a sinker. And then Silseth has an average curveball and an average splitter. I don't know. We'll see if their demand drops. I'm not in any hurry to sign either of those men. We'll see. Man, how long is it? I need a scout on this guy. 5 days? You're killing me. Ooh. All right, we got Frenier Herrera. Let's see. I mean, I like it, but I mean, the forkball is irrelevant. He has 3 much better pitches. The cutter is fine. I like Herrera. Do I like him more than Silseth? I think Silseth gets me better home run rate, better movement. Mm, yeah, I don't know. Herrera is also a lot younger. He's only 26. He's going to be 27 a couple months. He wants 2 years, 16. Okay. I don't hate any of that outcome. All right, Wellington Herrera likes my offer. Carter Johnson likes my offer. That's good. Okay. Kunafoso, Tsukamoto. Here we go. Well, I mean, I got my wish that the control didn't plummet, but his stuff also didn't really improve. I mean, I think Tsukamoto is going to be a good pitcher, but fundamentally, he wants too much money. Like, first of all, he's 33 years old. I'm only giving him a 1 year deal. And like, if let's say I give him, well, I'm just clicking all the wrong button. Like, if I give him 1 year, 8 million, nah. So I think we're out with the Tsukamoto sweepstakes. Lottery results are announced. The Phillies have the #1 overall pick. The Angels have the worst record in baseball, and they pick sixth. Deserved. Okay, Tsukamoto just signed with Austin, formerly Kansas City, for 3 years, 24 million. I like how my scout finished scouting him. We looked, we did a little bit of negotiation, and then a day later he signs with Austin. Oh, that's funny. That is rather funny. All right, so we are getting the first signings. Dalton rushing to Austin, Anthony Volpe to Houston, Herrera, our old friend, our old lad, goes to the Mets. 3 years, 18.8. Andres Munoz still kicking. No longer getting saves though, which is rough. He signs with the Pirates for 2.7 million. Good for him. Yeah, I mean, I don't I don't think I'm in any hurry with a lot of these pitchers. I think I would much rather wait. Also, Chase Burns is available again if I want to run it back with Chase. I could, don't get me wrong, but I don't think I should. Nothing really to do in the winter meetings. What I will do is I'll offer Castillo around, see if anyone is interested. Some interest. Scott Randall, I could reacquire him from like year one. Brian Hayes, Nick Swanson ain't bad, but I think it would be a little unrealistic for the Cubs to get a player in the Rule 5 draft. He does so well for them and then trade him. If I want to get a prospect, Jose Hernandez, who has great stuff but terrible control. Nah. I think we'll hold on to Castillo for now. Nothing fun in the winter meetings. Any other free agents signed? Not really. Yeah, I think unfortunately, it is not the most entertaining thing in the world, but like, I'm just waiting for these starting pitchers to drop their prices. Mike Griffith signed with the Rays. Did they give him money? Oh my God, they didn't give him money. Dude, you suck. How is he going to ask for money from me and then sign for free with Tampa? You suck. All right. Trade proposal from the Yankees. What do they want? They want Miguel Palma and Kevin Tesicki? No. You must be out of your mind. For a Henry Davis? Okay. First of all, don't get me wrong. Henry Davis, good catcher. Second of all, if you think I am trading the Yankees my 70 potential 24-year-old reliever, you must be out of your natural mind. For Henry Davis. First of all, hold on. Miguel Palma, Henry Davis. I mean, he has more power, but that's it. What are we doing? What an I am insulted by this deal. No. Arguably, like my best young reliever for Henry Davis. Good Lord. Yankee fans and their delusions. This has been a very quiet free agency. Ain't no one signing. Okay. Rule 5 draft. Let me save. This is another reason I wanted to wait because we could genuinely pick up a fifth starter in the Rule 5 draft. We'll see. We'll see, though. Okay. So, first things first, in our pool, whoops, all players. Okay. Who is eligible in Albuquerque that I want to protect? Reed LePere, I would like to protect. So we'll add him to the 40 men. Anyone else I want to protect? Not really. I mean, Anthony Murphy, but I have a lot of outfielders that are like Anthony Murphy. I'll add him to the list. I think Brady Moretta I could protect. Whoops. Moretta I could protect, but like if somebody takes him, so be it. Nascimento. I don't think I need to be worried about anyone picking him, but you never know. Bill Pierce, I'm fine with losing him. All right, so that's Albuquerque. Hartford. No. You know, the only 50 overall is Josh Copson, who, I'm going to be honest, probably is never going to make it out of AAA. So if they get taken, so be it. All right. Rule 5 draft. We pick 13. Anyone get taken? Andrew Painter gets taken by the Angels. The man who currently has a torn shoulder. Fair enough. That's pretty funny. Decent amount of picks in the Rule 5 draft. I like how in out of park baseball there's usually like 10 or so picks, and in real life it's like maybe 3. All right, so we're up. Let me just look at list really quick. So Mikey Romero is the best player available right now in terms of overall. However, I have Luis Marquez. I have a couple, fringe infielders I'm looking at. I don't think that's the move. Highest potential, there are a few 60s, including a 21-year-old pitcher who has stuff for days but no control. That tracks. All right, let's look at just starters because if we take anyone, it would be a starter. Let's look at just pitching ratings right now. Good Lord. I mean, it's not the most awe-inspiring list any of us have ever seen. Nah. Farcio, I think I'm out. Devereaux, Harrison, great name. He has never pitched in the majors and he's 31 years old. That's kind of rough. Carlos Luna would just be fun. 60 control, slinging it. Let it fly. Chad Dallas. I mean, this just is not a good list. Carson Dorsey, I think, could be okay, but the control is just terrifying. It's terrifying, people, I tell you. Nah, I mean, I think we. Ooh, Jaden. I'm not even gonna try with that last name. Hmm, that could be an interesting get. That could be interesting. I mean, the problem is, despite being listed as a starter, he was a reliever all through the minors. But control may not be bad. The stuff looks good. Here's what I'm gonna do. I am not gonna. Do I take him? His stamina dropped in May, but in February his velo went up, his control went up. I don't hate him. I think here's what I'll do. I'm gonna take him. Also, shout out to Chase Dollander, who, let's see, since I let him go last year, yeah, he got killed with the Braves. I think I'm gonna take him. We'll get a scouting report on him. We'll see how he does in spring training, and if he flames out, then I just cut him. I think it's really as simple as that. Uh-oh, we lost three guys. No, two, excuse me. Whom did we lose? We lost Daniel Pierce, which I'm okay with. I mean, let's be frank. He was never getting called up out of AAA. He's just great defensively, good speed, a leader. Pretty good pickup for the Rangers. Hope he does well. Spencer Browning goes. Fair enough. He was a draft pick for us in 2026. What round did I take him in? Fourth round. Yeah. I mean, his path to playing time is just pretty blocked, but we'll see how he does with the Astros. I mean, he's 24 years old, above average bat, defense is solid, good speed. We'll see how he does with the Astros. All right. So, whoops, we get Mr. Jaden. I think at the moment, he's on the outside looking in for a starting pitching job. We'll see what the new scouting report says. We'll see how free agency goes. He might make the team out of spring training. He may not. We'll see. Raul Urrea goes to the White Sox. He didn't get money either. Man, these guys are killing me. They demand money from me and then they don't want money from anyone else. Wellington Herrera signs. Nice. An old friend, going to be in AAA. And Carter Johnson signs. Okay, he is going straight to the major league roster. And him and Luis are going to compete for a backup infield spot. Luigi Casilla signs with the Red Sox. Got a minor league deal with a major league option for $2.5 million. Good for him. All right, it does look like some of the dominoes are falling pitching wise. Still, like the starters are just not going. Dylan Dingler signed with the Mariners. Like Patrick Sandoval signed, Shota signed, and they moved him to reliever. Same with Emmett Shaheen, but the starters are not going, which is good for us. The longer the price gets dropped down, the better. I think actually, since we got Jordan in the Rule 5, I may be more tempted to go with the 1 year contract of, say, Matt Caterino. How has your demand gone up? No one has signed you in a month and a half and your demand goes up. That's not how that works. That's not how this works, Matt. It's not how that works. I like Caterino. I think it might be him. Am I blind or do I just not see Silseth on this list? Oh, he's on there somewhere. I think Chase Silseth is just too expensive. His stamina also, it's only a 35, which hurts. As a starter, he was okay. As a reliever, he was a lot better. So that's why his ERA looks pretty. But Silseth, I mean, like 1 year, 7 million. Take it or leave it. I think I can get 1 year out of Silseth before I just lose the arm. Or do I go to Catarino? My other fear of Catarino is he's 34 years old, and so his next scouting report is likely going to be a negative one. Oh. I'm going to hold on Silseth. Ooh, fresh scouting report on Jaden. Talk to me. Okay. Potential stuff goes up by 5. His velo goes up even more. However, is he a guy that I want to throw out there next year? I don't know. I think I'm going to offer the contract to Silseth, and I mean, 7 million might be a bit much, but I think we do it. All right, I'm going to offer him the 7 million. We'll see what he says. All right, scouting report on Carter Johnson. Contact gets better. Everything else stays the same. I have a feeling he's going to beat Luis for the backup infielder job. We'll see. We shall see. All right, how am I doing for international amateurs? All right, I'm getting there on the scouting report. Let me scout specifically the guys with really high potential that I only have average scouting accuracy on. 18 names, that's fine. All right, we advance to the new year. A new dawn for Rockies baseball. Buddy, if you're doing 1 to 2 players a day, we're in trouble. There we go. There's the list. Very good. When's our national free agency? 15th. All right, so I got a little over a week. Perfect. All right. 2 more, and we're done. Cool. All right, let's take a closer look at international amateur free agents. So there's not a lot of guys that want all the money in the free world. It's like a lot of the potential guys are really solid. Tony Barrios is obviously the guy I'm gunning for on day one. We'll see how it goes. But for now, we have a week where we just sit and do nothing. Trade proposal, nobody move. They want to send me PJ Morlando, who won the Gold Glove 2 years in a row in left. Bat was pretty impressive. Mid-20s home runs. He struck out 166 times. That's not nothing. How much is he making? To be fair, that's not that much. He's really good defensively. What do they want? Wes Mendez? Nope. Ruben Nunez? No, we're done. Like Wes Mendez? Sure, you can have. Merry Christmas. But if you think I'm giving him Ruben Nunez, you must be out of your mind. Speaking which, man, his control just is not developing the way we want it. Like, I don't want him to be in high A for another year, but his control is just bad. Either way, we're not doing this deal. Like, I know they'd send me money with him, but yeah, no, they just silly. Still nothing from Silseth after we offered him the contract. Luis Castilla signed with the Philadelphia Phillies. Just paid 39-year-old Luis Castillo 3 years, $40 million. What in the world? That's insane. Oh, PCA signed 7 years, 223 million. He has an opt-out after 3 years. If I'm the Phillies, I am hoping he takes that. 36 million a year, fair enough. Have fun. Cal Raleigh also signs with the Phillies. 3 years, 50 million. Wow. Old friend Nolan Jones to the Dodgers. Back to the Dodgers, I should say. The Phillies are going all in. Respect. All right, Hall of Fame voting results. This might be a Hall of Fame where maybe one guy gets in. Kershaw and Freeman get in. Paul Goldschmidt, 1 percentage point shy. A lot of other guys were dropped, as is to be expected. Kershaw, Freddie make it. Goldschmidt 1 point away. Let the record show that Ichiro was not a first-year ballot, and Paul Goldschmidt was 1 percentage off from being. Silseth. I'm not saying I'm going to sign with you yet. It is mid-January, Chase. I am clearly the only team interested in you. Sign the contract. Oh, Ezekiel Tovar is signed. We get a first-round draft pick. Where'd he go? Please don't be the Dodgers. Oh, Cleveland, thank God. If he would have went to the Dodgers, I wouldn't be held responsible for words I say. How much? Holy! Yeah. Okay. Yeah. 6 years, 255. We paid him half of that last season. Wow. That's actually, I mean, good for him. Is he going to be their shortstop? Yep. Looks like it. Wow. That's okay. Ezekiel Tovar is now in Cleveland. Good for him. The fans are crushed. Well, listen. What else is new? International free agent signing period has begun. Okay. Let me save really quick. So, I think priority is either I come away with one really good amateur or like a 3 to 5 person pool of strong players. I think Tony Barrios is who I'm prioritizing to go after. On fun to training, private practice, get him in. He wants 3.2. I am gonna negotiate against myself and offer him 3.5 because I would rather get him for 3.5 now than get into a bidding war. And then while I'm speaking to him, that gives me 2.3 left. Where is the catcher I liked? Oh, he wants 3.2. That's a shame. What about Saucedo? Saucedo only wants 1.6. Let me get a quick scouting report on him. I'll invite him to training and then offer him just what he wants, 1.6. All right. Let's see what happens. All right, Sasado. I mean, I'll take him. Defensively, he's already really good at catcher at 16. So that's awesome. Speed, I don't care about. And if he's a power first catcher, we're in business. Get a scouting report on this random 16-year-old my guy found in Colombia. Man, doesn't look terrible. All right, preseason has begun. The league calendar flips from 2031 to 2032. Good God. All right, Chase Silseth has signed. So that's my rotation. Luis De Leon, Sandy Ozuna, Hunter Brown, Chase Silseth, Javin Dumas with Rule 5 draft pick, Jaden whatever, as on the outside looking in. Could even be a long reliever if one of my bullpen guys get hurt in spring training. All right, Tony Barrios. The Marlins made him a better offer. Well, I don't really care. I mean, I do, but shit. They made him a really better offer. Means I have to give up on. I mean, I'm going to get Salcedo. But, I mean, I don't get Barrios. I really want Barrios. Because to get him under, like, that's the best I can do. I'll offer him 4.3. We'll see what happens. Okay, developmental progress. Joey Broughton is on track. Good. Dumas is excelling. Good. Dario on track. Good. Colby Turner frustrated. I don't care. Christian is excelling. That's awesome. Ginger's on track. Good. Both Max Clark and Munoz are frustrated. That's fine. I'm not pulling them off of any of their development stuff. Much, if you pull them off, trouble. Sasado signs. Sweet. I mean, that's our catcher of the future. Granted, a long, long future away, but that's our catcher of the future right there. Barrios still favors me. I could get them both. Yeah, it looks like Raul's power is a little bit worse than we thought, but even then, I mean, the contact is there. The eye didn't go down, which is also good. I mean, if Barrios comes back and says he wants more money, then we need to pivot because we can't pay him. Yep, we're done. We're out on Barrios. We can't afford him anymore. Goodbye. All right, so that frees up $4.3 million that we now need to go and find a pitcher for. I mean, the easiest get is either Rich Garcia or Sergio Bedoya. I like Sergio, but his stuff just isn't there, which is a big concern. Whereas Rich, here, let me request a scouting report on Rich. Or do I go with someone for like Mark or Mike Marquez? I think here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to offer Bedoya the 2.3 that he's looking for, and I'll wait for the scouting report on Garcia. Barrios signs with the Las Vegas Athletics. How much did they pay him? 5.8. Yeah, I mean yeah. It would have been we get Barrios and no one else, which maybe that's a deal we do, but nah. Good luck in Vegas, my friend. Bedoya wants more money. Of course he does. Oh, Rich Garcia, I'm worried. I was worried about the control with Rich, but I mean, the stuff will play. Bedoya, hilariously, it's the opposite problem. I think I'd still rather have Bedoya. I'll offer him what he wants, and we'll go from there. Okay? It's the best deal. All right, we get Bedoya. I think we'll see on his stuff, but it's just a fascinating profile. We might as well roll the dice. Okay, so we have what? We have 1 million left. So the list of players we can get fairly small. Bobby Rodriguez has 70 potential allegedly. I mean, if he'll sign for 200,000, like, yes. Dude, where do I sign? Uh, what's Estrada's defensively looking like? Not great, but I like the profile. And we're back to Mike. Mike, you know what? Let's go for Mike. And Estrada wants what? 490? Oh, he wants 1.1. You lying. I've been lied to before like that. Jorge Campazano. No relation. I mean, to be fair, there may be a relation. I don't know. Ooh. Dave Barrios. Sir, I cannot afford that. I will offer you 530,000. All right, let's see what those guys all say. Barrios favors. Bobby Rodriguez favors. I mean, if we get them both, that's a really good international amateur haul. And oh boy. I mean, Kevin getting better. Sandy, his stuff goes down, his movement goes up. Okuda, better stuff, better current and potential movement control. We're in business, folks. Bryce Terang, his defensively got worse. It's fine. Elkins got worse got contact. Terang getting worse defensively is grim. Okay, Mike favors. If we can get all three, I'm such a happy man. Let's look at Bobby. I mean, I like him. The movement is worse than we thought, but I mean, I can live with that. If his control is just like average and his stuff plays, we're in business. Let's look at Dave. Dave is exactly the player we thought he was, which is just really solid organizational depth. And if he hits for contacts, good outfielder. And he signed. We got them all. That's the greatest international amateur haul in the history of mankind. We get Barrios, we get Bobby Rodriguez, and we get Mike Marquez. There we go. So essentially, as I go to my haul here, let me. Oh, it's not going to tell me because I signed them. Hold on. So the trade-off effectively was either we get the best international amateur pitcher, or we get the probably second best catcher available, Raul Salcedo, the third best starting pitcher available, Sergio Bedoya, the top reliever available, Buddy Rodriguez, a solid relieving option with 55 potential, solid outfielder depth. I'll take that. I'll take that in a heartbeat. That's a really good international amateur class. I'm happy with that. All right. So, in terms of money, as more and more guys are signing, Emmanuel Class A, not suspended in this universe, goes to the Red Sox. We have just under 4.5 million left. There's not really much that we need. I am going to make a minor league offer to Darrell Hernandez. To see if he wants to come play in AAA, because I do need to replace Daniel Pierce somehow. And if Boston Barrow also only wants a straight minor league deal and not minor league with a major league option, I take that to the bank. I'm just looking if there's insanely young guys that would want to come on down. Joel Diaz doesn't look half bad. Get him in the building. All right. Let's look at just young guys really quick. 20 years old, 40 potential. I lied. All right. I'm just going to sim a week. Hopefully, I don't get yanked out for any injury news. Diaz likes it, and Barrow likes it. Okay. That'll really help our minor league depth. All right, we get them both. Sweet. So now our AAA infield looking a little bit better. We still need some help, though. I think it's time for Dalton Wentz to earn his station in AAA. All right, one thing I do want to do really quick. Let me get a fresh scouting report on Chase Silseth. And lineup is all very high. Cool. All right, we'll advance a week to spring training. Luis Giolito just signed a $26 million deal at age like 40. That's hilarious. All right, Chase, please don't get worse. Okay. I mean, his overall potential went up, which is kind of funny. I mean, yeah, I think if we can get one good year out of Chase, I'm okay with it. The 35 stamina is terrifying. We'll see how it plays in spring training, but you never know. Guerra. Well, all right, he likes my offer. Good. All right, let's save before spring training. Okay. First things first, I'm going to make sure my lineup is what I want it to be depth chart wise. Ron can take left. Or no, excuse me. Ron can take center and right. Santiago left. Anthony Murphy DH. And then I am just going to copy the lineup, copy the depth chart, paste it for lefties and righties. Pitching staff is set. All right. Now we all must manifest no spring training injuries. Win-loss record, I genuinely don't care. We won the World Series when we had one of the worst spring training records in all of baseball. All right, Darryl signs. Sweet. That would be an interesting analysis, like spring training success relative to regular season and postseason success. Jake Yeager got better. Mike Stewart The AI is still kind of finding his range. Stuff drops, movement drops, but still really good pitcher for us. Jake Yeager getting better is exciting. I think he is a guy I like quite a bit. I have a feeling I'm going to cut Jaden because I don't know what role he's going to have. And as a Rule 5 pick, I don't want to have to hold him the whole year. We'll see. No injuries yet. We're okay. When is. Are we in the international series against the Brewers? Okay. That'll be fun. Who knew? Charlie Condon. Virus. Buddy, I do not want you. Just stay at home, dude. Stay at home. Get some antibiotics. Rest up. There, and that right there is why you never, ever, ever in the development lab cancel someone's training halfway through. It always goes poorly. You saw how many of these guys were frustrated or not showing improvement. Every single one of them was successful except Munoz's gap power. So Joey Broughton, successful for his control, very good. Dumas, secondary pitch improvement. On his cutter, why wouldn't it? When I said secondary pitch improvement, I was hoping it would improve either his curveball or changeup, which suck, or his sinker, which is average, and it improved his changeup. You stupid game. All right, good. Gap power improvements. Good. Ginger, his curveball. So again, it doesn't help his changeup or splitter. Fair enough. All right. And Munoz's gap power didn't work. That's fine. That's good. I'll take it. I'll take it and like it. 7 out of 8 successes. Come on. Okay, so I guess we're playing in the international series against the Brewers. That's fun. Oh, Kevin, no. I mean, I'm not going to put him on the IL for obvious reasons. So, Charlie Condon. We just advance these days manually. Yep, we play against the Brewers in the international series. That's neat. Why us, though? It's the first year it's ever been us. Usually it's like Dodgers, Padres, or Cubs and somebody, but it's us. That's kind of cool. Okay. At Milwaukee. Was it at Milwaukee and not internationally? That's lame. All right, let's save. We got through all of spring training with like no injuries. We had Condon pick up a virus, and we had Kevin Tesicki pick up a little knock, but he'll be better for tomorrow. Okay. So let us figure this out. So I need to make 10 cuts. Let's do lineup first. So catcher, I like Edgelin Perez, but I think for now, he's going to be our third catcher in Albuquerque. He had a terrible spring training, but that's fine. Palma is in. Condon, oh, whoops. I forgot he got injured. Condon is going to be our first baseman. CJ Sampson, think is safe. He can play first, he can play third. Carter Johnson versus Luis. Carter did not have a good spring training. Luis didn't either. I think of the two, it's Carter Johnson, which is a little harsh on Luis. He's been in AAA for a while, both with us and the Rangers, but I don't think he's quite ready. So we're going to send him down. That's harsh. That hurts me a little bit. So Carter Johnson is safe. He's going to be our backup second baseman. I don't really have a backup shortstop. Carter can kind of do it, but a little worried. Backup outfield. All right. Elkins had a horrendous spring training. Santiago did really, really well, so he's safe. And now Anthony Murphy. He did well. Murphy or Elkins, who do I like? I mean, Elkins sucked last year. It must be said, but he's also been in AAA for a while. Does he have option years left? Yeah, he has 2. Versus Anthony Murphy. I also equally don't know if Anthony Murphy is really MLB ready, but I think I'd rather see it than Elkins. So we're going to send Elkins down to AAA. Murphy is safe. It's going to move him to right field as his overall gets worse. It's fine. So then, in terms of outfield depth, Christian's our backup center fielder. Anthony Murphy backup in right. Pinch hitter, Santiago, then CJ. Pinch runner, I don't really have a great one, but I think it's Anthony. So let me copy that and paste it really quick. Okay. So Palma. Yeah, Dario can't hit lefties. At least he didn't last season. So how'd Terang do against lefties last year? He didn't do great either. Whereas Carter Johnson, he's still not great. I think we'll go Palma over Dario. I'll keep Bryce Terang in against lefties, but it will be a small leash. Yeah. Also, unrelated, let me get fresh scouting reports on CJ Sampson, Carter Johnson, Bryce Terang, Andahar, and Alan Ford. All right, so at the moment, I'm trying to keep 5 backup hitters. That may be one too many. We'll see. Okay, 7 cuts need to be made. Yeah, I'm going to have to cut one hitter maybe. Dang. All right, let's go through the easy ones. Reed LePere, he's going to be great. Just not right now. So he's going to go back down to AAA. Carlos, AAA, easy decision. In terms of option years, he has 1 left, by the by. I would like him to be a starter if he could. We'll see if the AI agrees. Jake Yeager, I think, is the next starting pitcher to get called up. I called him up last year for 5 games. He didn't exactly do good, but we'll see how he plays. Wayling Castillo, unfortunately, got popped in spring training. He's objectively the worst reliever of that group, so he'll go to AAA. And Michael Jindra, it's better than Silseth. Yeah, this is the part where things get a little ugly. Because I need to make 3 cuts from this list. Is Dumas safe? like Dumas has two good pitches because for whatever reason the development lab made him work on his cutter instead of his sinker, changeup, or curveball. How'd Broughton do in spring training? Oh God, whatever. Because like Michael Jindra should, for all intents and purposes, be in the rotation. His stamina just sucks. I also just paid Chase Silseth $7 million, which hindsight being 2020 looks like a foolish decision, but I think he should be in there. So then that means, do I pull the ripcord on Sandy immediately? Or do I move Dumas to long relief? I kind of like that idea. Because I want to try Ginger out as a starter. I don't want to move him to the bullpen. So, first things first, Jaden, I think I'm going to send back to the Cardinals. I think that is the simplest solution. The more I look at it, the more I don't like Dumas. Like, I accept he did well with the Cardinals last season, but he also averaged less than 5 innings a start. He has two good pitches. Like, the more I think about it, part of me wants to move Kevin to the IL just to free up a spot, but that would be the most useless thing ever. Yeah, we can go to middle relief. Yeah, I think we're going to release Jaden back to the Cardinals. I think we'll send him back. Yeah, I mean, hey, he was there for cover in case anyone got injured or he won the job, and that just didn't happen. Which reminds me, Spencer Browning still on the Astros. He's still kicking. And then Pierce still on the Rangers. Okay, cool. So now I need to make two cuts. And I think this is going to be harsh on somebody. My decision to pay Chase Silseth $7 million is looking a little shaky right now, but we'll ignore that in the immediate time. Like AJ Russell deserves to be up here. Kevin Teskey and Mike Stewart are both young, but they both deserve to be up here. Dumas in AAA just feels like kind of a bad move, but that's what I'm doing. So now I suddenly have a logjam in AAA where I have a lot of starters and not a whole lot of options. I'm going to move Diaz to reliever and hope the AI doesn't flip him back. All right, so I need to make one cut. Anthony Murphy down to AAA? Think so. All right. Well, how big is my AAA outfield? 5. I feel so sorry for Kareem. Like he really could start elsewhere, but all right. Before I forget, let me get fresh scouting reports on the guys that I only have high accuracy on now after an off season. Let's get that going. Man. I mean it's kind of rough that our Rule 5 draft pick didn't make the opening day roster. Through no fault of his own, he had a nearly perfect spring training, but it was just a numbers game. And then Dumas, who we traded a pair of prospects for, also doesn't make the opening day roster. But also, like, we need to get back to the playoffs. And Chase Silseth helps us do that more, I think, this year than either of those two men. And trust me, I've done stupider things than eat 7 million. I would gladly cut him or send him AAA, eat the 7 million, but I think Chase is just better. So, all right, that's our pitching staff. Luis De Leon remains our ace. Sandy Ozuna behind him. Hunter Brown, third starter. Chase Silseth, fourth. Michael Gindra, fifth. Okuda to close. Fidel Engage, setup men. Mike Stewart, Joey Broughton, Luis Costello, middle relief. AJ Russell, Kevin Teskey, long relief. I like this bullpen a lot more than last year's, just by default. Lineup. We got Dario catcher against right, Miguel Palma catcher against lefties. Everything else is the same. CJ Sampson, Carter Johnson, backup infielders. Santiago Munoz, backup outfielder. I like it. One thing I am going to do is I'm going to reset fatigue and morale on everyone because we're playing the international series and I don't want the AI to be hampered by like who they can and can't select. So we're going to reset those. Let's meet the team for a moment. Well, that's some red numbers. So Dario, 27th ranked catcher. Charlie Condon, 15. How you Lee being 9 is insane. I'm sorry. The man has averaged a 823 or better OPS the last 4 seasons. Insanity. Anyway, Colby Turner, the 5th best third baseman. What a sad state of affairs the third base position has become. Andahar, 26th best shortstop. Munoz, 9th best left fielder, and he is not in left field right now. He is on the bench with Alan Ford out there. Is that the correct decision? Let me compare the men. I mean, to be fair, Alan just had such a good year last year. Like, I got to at least give him the start and see how he plays. But Max Clark, 17th center field. Aguilaris, 19th and right. Luis De Leon, 12th. Gage Woods, second reliever. Okuda, second closer. Okay. That's where we're at. That is indeed where we're at. Magana's potential going down or seemingly going lower every time I look at it is rough. It is indeed. All right. Well, I mean, we're going to play these 2 games. Let's be frank. Milwaukee Brewers. Hello. Who do they got on their team? Kenny Gomez, still going strong, 26 years old. They have Jesus. They have Vlad Guerrero Jr. Very good. And Zebby Matthews, their opening day starter. Good for them. Let's have fun. And Christian Aguilares will get us started. Looks like we're just straight up playing in Milwaukee and it's not an international game. Boo. Bring us to Japan. You cowards. As Aguilares flies out to begin the 2032 season. There we go. Andahar gets aboard, folks. We have a hit. Stop the presses. Am I going to run on Jefferson Cuero? Probably not. How you Lee transitioned from second base to DH this season. We'll see how he does. Charlie Condon hits it deep to right field and it dies at the wall. Nothing doing. Clean first inning from Luis. Alan Ford rifles it to second, but down he goes. Colby Turner gets it through. Very good, sir. we have a runner. Bryce Terang. His first at bat is a Rocky, and he hits into a fielder's choice. He'll do just fine. Softly up from Dario, and he beats out the throw. He did not look safe in that animation. The coach should challenge, in my opinion. But here's Max Clark. Hits it up the middle and a diving save. How could you do this to me, Jesus? But alas, once again, we get runners on. We cannot score them. All right, they walk Christian on 4 pitches. Andahar, you're killing me. All right, Hayuli hits it into left, and it's down in front. Run, Christian. Run like the wind. He's going home. What a brave man. And they don't even throw it. That feels anticlimactic. But we are on the board. And Charlie Condon strikes out on 3 pitches. Stop me if you've heard that before. And Alan Ford hits it deep to center field. Gone. Good luck catching that one. First home run of the season is by Alan Ford. 418 feet. Colby Turner tried to match. It did not work. All right. Luis. Clean through 3. We're looking pretty good so far. Why did I just jinx us? All right, Dario, what do you got for me? A strikeout on 4 pitches is what he's got for me. And Max Clark flies out. Nothing for us. I believe that was our first inning without getting a base runner. Speaking of base runners, the Brewers have 2 on with 1 out. Brett Wisely hits it to third. Second for 1, first for 2. No reason to panic. To the 5th we go. Lineup flips. And Christian strikes out. He's killing me. You're killing me, Smalls. And Ahar gets aboard. Very good. That is one aspect of Ezekiel Tovar last season that I'm glad it didn't have to worry about. Like, the succession plan at shortstop was secure with Andahar taking over. I didn't have to worry about finding a new shortstop as Andahar gets the steal without a throw. I mean, if they want to walk How You Lee, full count. Grounds out to short. I don't love that. All right, Charlie, come on, give me something. Swing on the 3-0 pitch. Walked. Here's Alan Ford. Home run already today. And he hits it up the middle here. 1 run will score. Condon goes to third as Allen is maybe thrown out at second. Yes, he is. Damn it all. Oh, Allen. Buddy old pal. All right. Kenny Gomez is aboard against Luis. Chris Abrams hits it to Colby. The throw gets him. Very good from Luis. 5 shutout innings. He's on 76 pitches. I'm going to throw him back out there, I think. Come what may. Let's see if we can get a couple extra runs for good measure. Colby is grounded out. Here's Bryce. Gets it down and left. The other aspect of the Bryce Terang trade is if he struggles, I can just have How You Lee go back to second, and then one of my outfielders can DH. Like, that aspect of it is pretty solid. I would just prefer How You Lee to stay at DH. As Dario hits it into left, Terang goes home. RBI single for the catcher. 5-0 game. And they threw out Dario. How rude. And they get Max anyway. Okay. We go to the sixth. So Luis is on 76 pitches. Let's get Mike Stewart warming up. Let's see if Luis can get me a couple outs. He walks Jesus. I'm going to let him face Vlad. This might be a mistake. Hits it to short. Second for one. First for two. Only needed one pitch to do it. Let's see if he can get 1-1 Kim. And he does. Swing and a miss. 6 shutout innings for the man, the myth, the legend, Luis De Leon. Christian Aguilera hits a leadoff triple. And Andahar hits it to like the one place that wouldn't score him automatically. And How You Lee grounds out, but it does score Christian. 6-0. Condon, swing and a miss. All right, that is going to be it for Luis. Brilliant outing. 6 innings, 5 hits, 3 walks, 7 Ks. Mike Stewart on for the 7th. Clean inning from him. We're going to get Gage Wood on for the 8th. I think I'll pinch hit here. I'm not saying the game is won, but the game is won. Let's have Santiago Munoz take a bat. Rounds out third. All right. Same. Let's pinch hit here. CJ Sampson will get a bat for Colby. And he strikes out. You're killing me, Smalls. All right, Bryce. Get on base. He did not, in fact, get on base. All right. Munoz takes over in the left. CJ Sampson takes third. And Gage Wood will come on in relief of Mike Stewart. Oh, my God. Gage, if you ruin this shutout, there we go. He gets flat. Cool. What is Vladdy's ratings right now? 45. It's rough. I'm surprised he didn't retire. But here we are. I guess he's still getting like 150 games played, so I understand. All right, and then in the 9th, let's get AJ Russell warming up. All right, Darren Christian get aboard. I'll let Andahar get the bat. Lines out, and they get the double play. Ouch. That hurts. All right, AJ Russell coming on for the 9th. Gets it clean. All right, we win opening day 6-0. Aguilera has a triple. Alan Ford a home run. Combined shutout for the lads. Brewers only got 6 hits, 4 walks the whole game. Very nice. All right. We move on to game 2, but first, fresh scouting reports. Gage Wood. No changes from before. We know that his stuff is an 80. It's phenomenal. It's beautiful. We know. Hunter Brown. No changes. I mean, the fact that, he dropped from a 50 to a 45 is a bit scary, but we'll roll with it. Alan Ford coming off the home run. No change. He also went from a 50 to 45s, but that's okay. Kevin Tesicki. His stuff increased from a 60 to a 65. That's big because just last year, at the end of the 2030 season, his stuff was a 50. It's already up by 15 in just over a season. Very good. All right. And then CJ Sampson, his speed increased. Okay. I'll take that. All right, let's get on to game 2. We have Sandy Ozuna on the mound. They have Nicholas Regalado. I'm rolling out the same lineup. Looks like they made one change, third base. Yeah. Oh, they platooned the last game. All right. All right, Christian, get us started. Game 2 of the opening day series. I'm still mad that it's not played in an international location. Like, it's just in Milwaukee. Like, what's the point of having the 2 games take place a week and a half before everyone else starts and just put it in Milwaukee? Like, listen, I'll play in Japan, please. I got Okuda. Oh, no. Don't be hurt. Don't be hurt. If Ashley Andahar would have gotten injured on the second game of the season, shut it down. That's how Yuli gets it down. Run, Andahar, with your potentially bum knee. Run. All right. Runners on. I'm going to try to get How Yuli the steal here to take away the double play, and he's down. That is something I need to do more because last year How Yuli only had 15 steals. I need to get him back into the 20s. And Condon strikes out. Alan Ford lines out. Nothing there. All right. Sandy, buddy, I know you've had multiple season-ending injuries, but I believe in you this season. Clean first inning. We're in business. There we go. Colby Turner gets it down. I need Colby. This is going to sound ironic. I need him to hit for contact more as opposed to his power, especially with Tovar now gone. I need more contact. Dario hits it deep to right, but that's going to get caught. I had such high hopes. And they were smited as Max Clark strikes out on 3 pitches. Not a good series for him so far. Clean through 2, though. On the other end, you know what? Christian may have struck out, but he struck out on a full count. And Nicholas is already at 36 pitches in the 3rd inning. I'll take what I can get. How Yuli swinging on the first pitch and Andahar swinging on the second does hurt my agenda to drive up his pitch count, but so be it. The Brewers aren't doing anything, which is making this very frustrating that we're just unable to score today. Condon again. He has yet to get a hit this season. Are we in the second game? Yes. But is it still depressing? Yes. Alan Ford really does just swing for the fence every time. Colby Turner hits it up, but that's going to be caught too. All right. The Brewers get a solo shot from Kenny Gomez. They are on the board, 1-0. Harang grounds out. Mario strikes out. There we go. Max Clark gets aboard, and you already know I'm having him steal. Guy had 40 steals last year, for crying out loud. And he gets it there. All right. Come on, Christian. Hits it deep to center, but that's going to be grabbed. Man. All right. Sandy's on 46 pitches. He's doing okay. He's on 61 through 5. So I'll bring him back out there for the 6th. But I might get one of my long relievers warming up. Man. This Brewers pitcher is making mincemeat of my lineup as he walks Condon. Full count. He's up to 80 pitches. Come on, Allen. Take him deep. Bang. He tried. It didn't work, but he tried. All right. We will go to the bottom of the sixth. I am going to get Kevin Tesicki warming up. And Vlad hits a leadoff double. Let's see what Jeff Sinquero does. Gets it down. I'm going to let him face Chris Abrams. And that gets down also. All right, that's it for Sandy. Ah, man. All right, Kevin, I'm going to be honest. You're inheriting a really tough spot. Let's see how he does. A bunt? It is the second game of the season. Have some shame. Good. You deserve to be struck out there. My goodness gracious. Henny Gomez strikes out also. Brilliant from Kevin so far. Here's Jesus, my arch nemesis a few seasons ago. Fielder's choice. All right. Brewers get one, but it could have been a lot worse. Kevin's only on 11 pitches, so he's going to go back out there for the seventh. And they hit Colby. That's rude. How dare you? And they walk Bryce. 2 runners are aboard. Tim Herron, who, I kid you not, which award did he win last season? Yeah, he finished 3rd in reliever of the year voting at 34 years young. He's now 35. Let's see if Dario can. Actually, wait, no, it's a lefty. Miguel. Pinch hit here. Miguel, buddy, I believe in you. And he grounds to second. He doesn't beat out the throw, but it advances both runners and eliminates the double play. I'll take that. Max Clark, 2 runners on. Hits it to second. I'm a little surprised there that Colby didn't run. I mean, he's not the quickest guy, but still. Aguilaris gets it down and left. That'll score Colby. Will it score the second? It will, as Terang is home. Tie ball game. Very good from Christian. And Andahar hits it softly to short. They better not call that out. Oh, please. He slid into the bag like 2 seconds before the ball got there. What are we doing, game, with those animations? All right. Palmer will take catch. Kevin will stay out for the 7th. Clean inning from him. We're going to get Luis Warman for the 8th. Let's see if we can take a lead here. Howie Lee flies out. Come on, Charlie. Give me a hit, buddy. Nope. Charlie went 0 for 6 in this first series, unless he bats again, which would imply that this game is going to go on for quite a bit, but you never know. Alan Ford grounds out to second. Nothing doing. All right, I'm going to make one defensive sub. Santiago is going to replace Allen in left. Luis is going to come in for the 8th. Chris Abrahams is aboard, but Kenny Gomez is up. Hits it softly to Luis. The throw. Not in time, they say. Not too sure about that, but fair enough. Jesus rifles it to Condon, who takes it away. All right. No matter what happens in the top of the 9th, Okuda is going to warm up for the bottom of the 9th. Colby Turner pops it up. I am going to let Bryce face. He swings at the 3-1 pitch and flies out to left. Miguel, you're my last hope. Hits it to center, but that'll be caught. Okay. So we either lose this game in regulation or we try to win it in extras as Okuda is up for the bottom of the ninth. He was the closer for the second half of last season. He's getting the job today. And he gets Hyungwon Kim flying out. He gets Reynamo to pop out. Rayner, Bonacci. Grounds out to second. Okay. We're going to extra innings in the second game of the season. Heck of a game for the neutrals. Let's see if Max Clark can get Miguel home. Hits it to second. He has the speed, but he does not beat out the throw. Miguel is now at third. Aguilares hits it to short, and they get him. Miguel doesn't even move. Ashley Andahar, our last hope in extra innings. Game 2 of the MLB season. Hits it deep to center. That'll be caught. Oh, boy. Not getting any runs in the top of extra innings is terrible because in order to win the game, you need to score runs next inning and get 6 more outs. So there's that. All right. Okuda is going to face Vladdy. Swing and a miss. Pinch hitter, Eli Lovich. Swing and a miss. Chris Abrahams. Swing and a miss. Okuda strikes out the side. Well done, sir. Do I have Andahar steal third against the lefty? Probably not. Let's see what Howie Lee can do first. Rifles it down the third baseline. So Andahar advances. G. Garcia, would I recommend this as a non-baseball fan? Play Love Football Manager. Aha! As a fellow football manager enjoyer. Hello. Though I do not have 2026 because it just doesn't feel finished. I would recommend this as a non-baseball fan. I think it is the learning curve is a lot easier than Football Manager in terms of getting into this game as a non-baseball fan. So from that perspective, I'd say sure. Also, usually you can find this game on sale. It might even be on sale now, whenever the Black Friday sale starts on Steam. But I would recommend it. There's a lot of fun things you can do with it in terms of all the teams you can manage. You could do like historical teams and whatnot. A lot of different options. All right, Santiago Munoz, I believe in you. And he gets it down and right. We have a run. Success. Easy success. All right, Condon Munoz are aboard. Colby Turner. Whoop. There we go. Okay. Well, I'm going to pinch hit here. Carter Johnson in for Bryce. Good luck, kid. And he gets it down and right. We're in business. Do you have FM26? Yeah. I bought it during the beta, played for about 2 hours, and just determined that it was going to be months before the game's in a good state where I want to play it a lot. We do get a second run, and Palma strikes out. He's killing me. All right, so Carter Johnson goes the second. And then Fidel Iowa in to try to get the save. For whatever reason, the AI has put probably their slowest hitter, or slowest runner, I should say, on second. I'm not going to complain. Not going to interrupt the enemy when they make a mistake, etc., etc. Miguel, if you don't throw him out at first, he didn't. All right. We are going to need a double play and a dream against Kenny Gomez. He hits it to right. That's going to score the runner at third. 1-run ball game. Good news is, though, Brent Wisely didn't move. Jesus. Swing and a miss. All right. Youngwon Kim. Brewers' last hope. Don't walk him. Well, he didn't walk him, so I can't be mad, but he does get the ball down. Wisely goes to third. Yadher Arenamo. Is he going to ruin my day? No, he won't. He's struck out looking. We take game 2, 4-3. We're 2-0. We're winning the World Series, folks. God, that was an ugly game. But again, bullpen did really well. No walks, also. I'll take that and like it. All right. I do find it a little weird that we played this series in one of the stadiums as opposed to real life where it's played internationally in either Japan or Korea. But here we are. All right, let me save really quick. All right, let's take a look at these scouting reports of our guys. Carter Johnson, any changes? Nope, no changes. So he is who we thought. Bryce Trang. If Bryce Trang got worse, I might just cut him right now. Yeah, he didn't get worse. But unfortunately, the regression that he had in January looks like that's real. So we're going to have to figure that out. Ashley Andahar. Ooh, his contact got better. Potential, 55 to a 60. I'll take that and like it. Luis Castellum, don't break my heart game. Unchanged. Very good. AJ Russell. No change. But also that means that since June of last year, he has not gotten better. To be fair, he was injured for, 4 months? Yeah. So, I can cut him some slack. Okuda. Yeah. I mean, his stuff got better. His stamina getting worse doesn't matter. He's our closer. He's only ever going to get me 1, maybe 2 innings. And his overall potential went up to a 70. I think we have the best relief pitcher in baseball right here. The fact that I gave him that opt-out in the last year of his contract is looking pretty bad right now, but we'll see. 3D engine looks all right. Yeah. I mean, similar to Football Manager before this year's iteration, the graphics and the 3D engine is not the selling point. They're similar to FM. There's a lot of different camera angles and like graphic stuff you can tinker with it to make it seem more like high-end or real. I was hoping nobody gets injured in this break. Luis De Leon gets Player of the Month for the whole 2 games that were played, and we are atop the power rankings in baseball. Yes. Are we one of the only 2 teams that played and won? Yes. What season we're in? We're in 2032, so this is season 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're in season 8. And so far, just as a light recap, in real life, the Colorado Rockies are the worst team in baseball. Not even particularly close. In my version of events, we sucked in year 1. We lost almost 100 games. I don't want to talk about it. Year 2, we made the playoffs and made the World Series. We didn't win it. Year 3, we made the playoffs and won the World Series. Year 4, we missed it. I don't want to talk about it. Year 5, we had our best record ever, which was 90-72. Made the playoffs, won the World Series again. And then, unfortunately, the pendulum has swung the opposite direction. And we missed the playoffs the last 2 years. But so far, it's fun. So far, we've been having a pretty good time. Let me advance just to this Guardian series. So the month flips. Hard to stay consistent. Wow. I think a lot of it also depends on like the team you have. One of the reasons we didn't stay consistent, and I don't think I can see that far in the past to look at it, but similarly to FM, where you have a board that sets your budget, in this game you have owners, and they're the real actual owners. And some of them are very realistic, which in this case, Charlie Monfort, who owns the Rockies, is a penny pinching scum. And so our budget has gone down a lot. Like last year, we had 206 million available. Now we have 198, which, 8 million isn't a huge drop off, but it hurts. It hurts me emotionally. It's fine. And Joey Broughton getting worse just hurts my soul. I really want him to be good. I just don't think he will be. I mean, his potential just dropped from a 60 to a 50, which is tragic. Munoz got better. I think Munoz is going to be eventually our starting left fielder. I just don't think he's our starting left fielder now. Dumas got worse. Okay, I'm vindicated in my decision to send him to the minor leagues. Ooh, Kaimi got better. Yes. Good. Overall, not too shabby. Vancouver White Sox and the board just sucks. Yeah. But no, I don't. I think it is. I think it's hard to stay consistent, especially when injuries are concerned. So, for example, and as a non-baseball fan, you might not have a good frame of reference for this, but Ezekiel Tovar, who at the start of the game is signed to like this 8-year contract, behemoth, very good shortstop, one of the best shortstops in baseball. For me, so I pull up his numbers. He's crushing it. He's worth like 4 wins a season, which is very, very good. And then in 2030, he had a season-ending injury 11 games into the season and missed the whole year. And that almost single-handedly tanked our offense that year. So a lot of it is just tragically injury dependent, which is rough. I will say a difference between Football Manager and Out of the Park Baseball is I think with Out of the Park Baseball, there is more variance in development. What's a good example? Will Ginger be good? Yeah. So Gindra, who was a player I drafted in the first round, I wanted him to be like the best pitcher I'd ever have. The text is a little hard to see, but he started essentially as like 80s and 85s and everything, which is like the max number. And then as he's in my organization, the scouts are getting a better look at him. His stuff drops a little bit, but it kind of evens off in the 60s and 70s. Then he gets a little better, and then he suffers Tommy John, which, for those who don't know, Tommy John essentially is where your shoulder is messed up in such a way you can't really move it. And so he missed about 14 months from that injury. And so that happened like here. And so then his stamina dropped. So how long he can pitch in a game dropped by 10. The velocity of his pitches dropped. Everything dropped. And so a lot of that development is variance. Do injuries happen often in baseball? Yeah. Who is the pitcher I was looking at in free agency that got injured? Was it Corbin Burns? Yep. So this is Corbin Burns. This is an extreme example. These are all of the injuries he had since 2025, the start of the series. You can kind of see in the bottom left when it says injury proneness is wrecked. Essentially, if a player gets injured a lot, he'll become injury prone, and then he'll just, at this point, he's wrecked. And the reason he's wrecked specifically is he had just 2 back injuries recently. He tore his rotator cuff 2 years ago. shoulder inflation for that. This is like the extreme. And then who's rarely gotten injured for me? Who's rarely? Condon hasn't gotten injured for me, has he? Yeah. And then, like, here's another example. This guy's been my starting first baseman since 2027, and he's had 4 injuries, one of which happened like a month ago, and it was a virus. So, big variance in there. Are pitchers more susceptible to injuries than other positions? In real life, yes. In this game, what is the quickest way I can get to that slider? This is going to bug me if I can't find it. Aha! In this game specifically, you can change like how often you want injuries to happen, because in real life injuries happen quite a bit. And so technically the realistic setting is if I set injury frequency to high. I have it set to normal as default because my opinion is just more fun that way. But you can change how you want it. You can change like when you'll know about an injury, either immediately or if like a player's out for months, you won't know until a couple days. So you can adjust stuff like that. But in real life, yeah, pitchers get hurt quite a bit more often, I would say. I think I do need to figure out really quick. AAA. Dumas, Gonzalez, McPherson. Who am I missing? Oh, Carlos. The AI needs to quit overruling me with Carlos. I do like McPherson. I'm gonna fight the AI at some point. Johandre, become a reliever. Embrace your future. All right. That's where we're at in life. Chemistry wise, we're okay. I do want to take a quick look. Alan Ford, how were you against lefties last season? Answer, you crushed them. That solves that question. All right. So I don't have a spot for Munoz. This is where this gets a little rough. In all honesty, I mean, the spot for Munoz is if Bryce Terang struggles and I move How You Lee back to second base. Alan Ford DHs, Santiago takes left. I think that's the line. We'll see how well that plays. We'll see. Who knows? Not I. But hey, we're 2-0. I'll take that and like it. Do want to check one thing, though, since now I'm thinking about the setting that I had. Where is... It's going to bug me that I can't find the setting, but I will find it eventually. Aha! One thing you can also do with injuries is in baseball and kind of in football/soccer as well, you have what's called day-to-day injuries, where effectively the player can play through it, and odds are he'll be fine. Maybe he'll be like a little worse, but he'll be fine. You can also change like how much you want a light injury, like a day-to-day injury, to affect someone's performance. You can choose like if a player is injured, how long are they out for in terms of like the cutoff. Whereas day to day, it'll be like, it could be day to day for like 2 days or a week. But if the player's out for like 3x days, then he's hurt. Dunzo, etc. So yeah, there's a lot of different customizable stuff in here that you can tinker with, like yeah, like there's a lot of more stuff that like someone familiar with baseball could change. Like you can change everything from like how long like a player has to play to get into the Hall of Fame. You can even choose if what different things you want to change in your league as your save progresses. For example, in real life, there was a change a few years ago where every team now gets a designated hitter, which for me is how you lead, which is essentially a player that they will not take the field. All they will do is hit. So they won't be in the field, they're just chilling and they'll hit. I've unselected that because I do not want that to change, whereas anything else can change as the save progresses. There is also promotion and relegation. I have no clue what ticking that would do on a logistical or like functional level, but that is an option. I don't know how it would look. I'm a little afraid to find out. And also for the Football Manager fans, you can make it so that the ratings are in stars as opposed to like actual number based to scratch that itch, as it were. I just prefer numbers for this, but that's just me. That is just me. But all right. It was good talking with you in chat. It was a lot of fun, but that is where I will end this episode. I'll try to have, I think, 2 episodes next week. One will be this series. The other will be my coordinator climb series on Football Coach College Dynasty. So I'll get those up Monday and Tuesday is currently the goal. We will see how well that goes. But thank you all for watching. Pretty successful off season. Spent a little bit of money, made a couple changes, and we are currently the best team in baseball at a brisk 2-0. We're winning it all, clearly. But I thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time.